This story was sent in by one of our subscribers, and if you think it sounds like something out of a nightmare, remember, it comes from a real town. At the very end of Elm Street stands a house people try to forget. But every Halloween, when the nights grow long, the legend returns. Because when the sun sets, red handprints begin to appear on its doors. They don't drip like fresh blood. They don't fade like old stains. They just spread, one by one, until the entire doorway looks like it's been touched by something desperate. Many years ago, a woman lived in that house. By all accounts, she was kind. Neighbors remembered her smile, her soft voice, her generosity. But kindness at the surface doesn't always mean peace inside. Her husband was cruel. Behind those wooden walls, the nights were filled with yelling, then with silence. The kind of silence that made the neighbors turn away, pretending they hadn't heard anything. One night, the silence never ended. The woman vanished without a trace. No body was found, no explanation ever given. But the next evening, the doors of the house bore strange red stains, shapes like hands pressed hard against the wood. And no matter how many times the new owners tried to clean them, the marks returned, darker, fresher, as though someone inside was still reaching out for help. Decades passed, but the house never stayed empty long. Every so often, a family would move in, thinking the stories were just small-town rumors. But every time, the same thing happened. At night, footsteps echoed in the hallways, doors shut on their own, and always the handprints. Witnesses swore they saw her figure inside, a pale woman standing just behind the doorway, her head tilted at an unnatural angle, her hands pressed against the door, leaving the red stains behind. Her lips moved, but the sound that came out was not speech, just a broken whisper, begging, pleading. And those who stayed too long said the whispers grew louder, until finally they turned to screams that rattled the walls and shattered the silence of Elm Street.
Teenagers sometimes dared each other to break into the house. Most of them came back, pale, trembling, unable to speak. But some never came back at all. One boy told his friends that when he touched the door, his palm burned like fire. He looked down and saw his own handprint glowing red beside hers. From that night on, he said he felt her presence in his room, watching, waiting. His friends thought it was just fear eating at him, until one morning, he was gone. Only his bed remained, sheets soaked with a faint, rusty stain that no one could explain. People in town say the woman is still waiting, still pressing her hands against the door, begging someone to free her. But when you answer, you're the one who gets trapped. The house is boarded now, but the marks never stop. If you pass by at sunset, you can see them appear, red, wet, glowing against the rotting wood. And if you're unlucky enough to look too long, you'll see her face staring back at you through the cracks, her eyes hollow, her lips trembling, her hands reaching for you. So if you ever walk Elm Street at night, don't look at the house. Don't listen to the whispers. And whatever you do, never touch the door. Because if your handprint joins hers, she'll know you're ready to stay forever. That was a story sent in by one of our subscribers. If you have a creepy legend from your town, share it in the comments. Maybe the next haunting we tell will be yours.